in Oakland are competitors. Everybody here has a story. Everybody here has something that has been difficult, something that you had to overcome to get here. But you find a way. When you get on the field, that's easy. Right? I remember when I was coaching and I had a young man and he was late to class every day. And his teacher says, "Coach, I'm going to fail him if he's late to class every day." So I went and pulled him up out of class and I brought him over. I said, "Why are you late to class? You got a chance to play in the national football. You got a chance to play in college. You get a scholarship. You got to pass this class." He said, "Coach, I'm late every day because when I leave my house, I used to cut into the alley to get around the corner and get on the bus. But when I went through the alley, there was a dead body. So I don't go through the alley anymore, so I have to go a long way around, so I miss my bus. And so I get late every day because I got to go catch another bus further away." And I thought about it. I said, wow, every day, how would it be for me if every day just to get to work, I had to see a dead body, or I had to go through that and still make it? Well, that young man, this man now, I got to be with him when he won a Super Bowl. My daughter and I were there as the confetti was coming down on the field. He brought me there because once he figured out how to overcome that, everything else was great. He has a degree. He has 2 Super Bowl rings. He was a Pro Bowler. And all it took really was for him and I to figure out how to get on that bus earlier every day, or find a different way so we didn't have to go through the alley, so we could make it to school. You do that every day, and you do it because of your coaches and your teachers and the people around you that help you, your parents. Alfonso talked about the Legends Tournament, and I'm proudly wearing this shirt right now about Legends. And I thought about it, what is a legend? Well, a legend is, when you look it up, it's a story that comes down from the past. It's a story sometimes that's not true or false, there's no real empirical data, sometimes it's just something that happens. Well, to me, every day in Oakland, we have legends. Every day there's a legend. I'm not talking about just the David Lillards or the folks like that, or the Marshawn Lynch's. Those are legends, no doubt. But you are the legends. You are the champions. You're the all-city people. You make it every single day. And then I looked at it, and you kind of said it. I don't know if you saw what I wrote today, but I talked about the coaches that we have in the OAL. The coaches in the OAL come from the OAL. They're a product of this system and give back. I looked at Ed Washington. Ed played at Castlemont. He played for Ian Denny, one of the icons of our time. A guy that sacrificed so much for the Oakland Athletic League. And so he imparted that onto Ed. And Ed comes back every day and works at Castlemont to make something happen. Jace Goree, he's at Oakland High. Jace played here, broke all these records. They come back. Mike Peters at McClymonds. Terry at Fremont. Joe Bates at Skyline. All come back. To me, that is not only legends, but legacies. What's a legacy? A legacy is something that you give, that you receive, that you give back, that stays out. So to me, the OAL has legends, and their legacy is to constantly give back. And so as I sit here and I look out here today and I look at you all, my question to all of you as you leave here and graduate and move on, what is your legacy going to be? What are you going to give back? Your legacy might be that you're the first person at your school to win a championship, or the first one to be all-city in that sport. We just had a swimming championship. Maybe you PR'd in swimming, and that leaves it out there. But what have you given back? It is so important that everything that we do, we give back. I saw the big story this year when David Lillard came back to Oakland High and gave back to a new gym, a weight room, a recording studio, all those things that happened. Because he remembered what Oakland, the OAL, had for him, what shaped him to be who he is. You're getting ready to do track. Track and field is coming up, and I don't know, do we have track athletes? Do we have any track athletes in here? We have a few good. Did you know that as the smallest section that back in the 90s, that that we won a state championship, a team state championship in track and field by the women. We had runners here that set the fastest time in the country by high schoolers that came from this section of, at least I'm going to say 6 schools, but I know there's more than 6 high schools now. But we look at it all, and it all starts with the smallest section. But why does it happen? With a city that constantly says there's problems in your company, you know what I'm talking about. But yet we still overcome it every single day. You aspire to be great every single day. I think it's so important that you look at those things. I was looking at, some quotes to kind of just leave you with on certain things, and I looked at this quote from Martin Luther King, and I thought it made a lot of sense. It says, we may have all come here on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. Look at the room. Look at the diversity in this room. We have men and women, people of all different colors. Your lives may come from different parts. You might be at Skyline up on the hill. You might be at Cascon in the deep east. You got climates in the west. They're all different. But are they different, really? Everything's still the same. No matter where you're at or what you're going to do, you're still striving for the same thing, to make yourself better, to improve. You get the chance every week that you go out and play a game, you get to prove it. You get to go out there and challenge each other, to compete, to be better. I don't think that ever changes. When people ask me, what it was like when I came to Oakland, how was it, I'm in San Diego. I used to go to the beach every day. I surf, I kayak, I scuba dive. You go to Oakland, what was it? Is it different? No, it wasn't different. Might be the sports a little bit different, but it was still the same. I was in high school. I tried to work out every day. I wanted to get better. I wanted to get a scholarship. I wanted to play at the next level. It doesn't change. We want to get a better education. We want to make ourselves better than what we have. You have that chance now to set that legacy for yourselves and your teams as you move forward. I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to thank you for listening to me. But I want you to remember, you are the legends. Everybody in this room is a legend. Everybody that participates in this league is a legend. Eddie, back in the days when you were at Fremont, did you think that you could compete with anybody, anywhere in California?
I thought I could beat anybody.
Anybody. You grew up from Havensville, right over there by the village, and moved on. You never let anything put you down, did you?
Not at all.
Nobody put any ceiling on you, ever, did they?
No.
Don't let anybody put a ceiling on you now. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. Anything that you want to happen can happen. You control your destiny. Make it happen. Every day, work hard to make it happen. And again, thank you very much for coming to Laney. Thank you very much for listening to me.